Hi, this is David Fury, the writer and producer of The House Always Wins, and I'm here with...
Andy Hallett. I play that green guy, Lauren.
Don't know yet, but I know what you are.
And the thing about writing the second episode of this season is you need to establish all the characters right up front, and this was a way of us getting Connor, even though Connor really isn't part of the story. It's a way of reminding us that he is very much Angel Jr., powerful vampire fighter.
Well, I mean, you say it wasn't all about Connor. That's because it was all about me, right?
That's exactly right.
Perfect.
You know, actually, if you really think about it, all the episodes are about Lauren, when you get right down to it.
Well, sure.
Now, here's our pull-out shot onto Cordy, which we originally had hoped to do a whole satellite shot where we would pull up and we'd be over the city, and then we'd be over the state, and then we'd be over just moving up.
Yeah.
And then that turned out to be prohibitively expensive, so it just became a little dissolved into cloudy land.
That worked perfectly.
It's a great fight. It's directed by Marita Rabiak.
I love Marita.
Yeah, she is a phenomenal director.
And a wonderful person with a great spirit. I love her.
And the thing that just fell was supposed to be a giant archangel that I had imagined in my script that became just a little lawn ornament, I think. It's the wonders of television. You have to, you think big and you end up a little small.
Mm-hmm. I went into this episode because my friend Danny had lied to me and told me that Marita had been a former showgirl. Do you remember that?
That's true. I remember that.
So I went to do the recording.
You sucker.
And I said, Marita, well, this will be fantastic. We're going back to your old stomping grounds, Vegas. And she looked at me kind of funny. I said, well, you were a showgirl, right? And she thought it was hysterical.
So here we are establishing where Angel is emotionally in the story, because it does become the Lauren story after this. But we need to know where our characters are at, and Angel has just come out of the bottom of the ocean. So
not in a great place.
Not in a great place. And he doesn't know what happened to Cordy, and they're directionless, and that plays into the theme of the episode.
Yeah.
The fact we don't know what we're doing.
Let's get out of here.
We're directionless. We don't know. We're following a guy who doesn't seem to have a clear destiny. And then he will have that taken away, that very destiny taken away from him later.
So they were just really just deciding to go on a little vacation.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had there's the Vegas sign. I was determined to get in there.
There it is. I love that.
Yeah, we had talked about whether or not they were specifically going to see Lauren. But or whether Angel was, because he needed some guidance. But I think Josh just loved the idea that they just want to get out. They just want to have a little vacation. They just want
to
take a break. And I think if you've been lying in the bottom of an ocean for 3 months, I think Vegas provides a little relief.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Amy.
The lovely Amy Acker. And the lovely Vincent Kartheiser.
Yes. Oh, he had short hair there. Amy looks so beautiful at her wedding. I have a gorgeous picture of her.
Oh. I wasn't invited.
Well, either was I. I was in the bushes.
I see. Okay, we open in Las Vegas, and this opening shot here of them driving.
I love it.
It's wonderful. It took us hours and hours just to get this footage of them driving.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you got that?
And those are all happy accidents, really. You're driving. You can't really plan for this. You just set the car driving, and you go back and forth up and down the strip, trying to get reflections on the hood.
Right.
Neon.
So the Wayne Newton thing was
that was totally an accident. It was totally.
Oh, I love it.
The only thing that was another happy accident was the joke about Danny Gans. Because we did wind up, when he got to the line, we ended up on the sign saying Danny Gans appearing live. But again,
there he is.
Hey, that was me. And David Greenwald, who actually is the the one who had the dream of sending Angel to Vegas. Just thought he wanted to put, Angel in Vegas just seemed such a perfect combination. But they hadn't quite figured out why until at the end of the prior season, Lorne went off to Vegas. And all we really knew at that point was they're going to go to Vegas and Lorne's going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to work with when we...
See, I didn't know I was going to be in trouble.
well, somebody... See, now, that shot like that, that's the neon cross in the windshield. We had to do it several times to get that.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh, and here on the sign where it says the green velvet fog. No, actually, it did say, when I showed up for the shoot, it said the velvet green frog. And I said, no, that's not quite what I had in mind. Velvet fog, Mel Torme, velvet green fog, that's Kermit the Frog.
Oh, I would have died if I saw a frog.
Oh, and here you are.
That is hysterical. Oh, I wish I had seen that.
Yeah.
I loved those little lights in the back.
Well, we lucked out here. We got a wonderful... The people here at the Riviera, they just had all these things that were part of their show, their stage show.
It was awesome.
And this is the kind of production value we could never... If we brought it in ourselves, we could never have been able to get. And they were so wonderful. The girls, the showgirls who...
They were the real girls?
They were the real showgirls there who worked out a routine, we produced this little musical, this mini musical, which I like to think of it as, when Joss did the, Once More With Feeling on Buffy. That this is
there he is.
That's me.
There's David in the front row.
Yeah.
Sitting with
Petra. Yeah.
Our script supervisor.
Yeah, Marina wanted to get me in there.
I absolutely love that.
Alfred Hitchcock thing.
And don't you have the...
I'm holding a little miniature Kelly Manners, our producer. Someone had made a little miniature bobblehead Kelly, I think, and I went out there holding it for I don't know what reason.
And if you look, when you come around my shoulder here, they'll come back to it. David has this little bobblehead doll, and it's hysterical. There it is, right in his lap.
Well, you don't know what that is. That could be anything.
Number of things.
Yeah. And anyway, what I was saying was the girls worked out this wonderful dance routine. We choreographed it right there that afternoon.
Yeah, they were awesome.
And
they do the house show at the Riviera, so
yeah.
They're very experienced, and they were just a delight to work with. They were awesome.
They were wonderful. Everybody in Vegas was wonderful.
Yeah, they really were. I remember when I was coming up out of that hole in the floor.
Yeah,
I was on that electronic platform, and it was quite small. So I remember I kept getting caught, and my sequins were getting ripped off.
Yes, you had to squish in your shoulders, I believe. You had to just to get through there. Yeah. Because usually people are standing, I think, and they can make that.
Right.
But you're sitting, which made it a little doubly difficult.
Right, my knees. That's right. It was my knees that I had trouble getting through.
Right.
Oh, there I go, tearing clothes off.
You were in heaven here, weren't you?
Heaven. This is my favorite moment of all.
Yeah.
Right here when the curtains open.
And a great little shot raking around you.
I love it. I'm excited right now. Oh.
The Lornettes.
The Lornettes.
This was a much longer sequence that we had to cut down, of course, because no story. We were just so in love with Annie's performance and producing this little show that we went, let's let it go on forever. And we went, you know what? Nothing's happening.
Yeah, right.
And people usually tune into a TV show for plot.
Yeah.
But
I think we got a few viewers for this one.
I think we did.
Yeah. I loved Amy's reaction, Fred's reaction. When she screams, and then she has to, well, sorry, he's
very good.
He was great.
Yeah, that gentleman's actually, I can't think of the actor's name, but he's actually a Broadway star.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's got an amazing voice, and he was forced to sing badly because
that
he was called upon.
And she was hysterical. Yeah. I loved her. I thought she was fantastic.
You play the audience great.
Exactly. I loved her.
And Angel doesn't know what to think.
Yeah, hasn't a clue. Of course, they think I'm gonna.
This was fun to edit.
I loved how there's these cuts like that. Back to the.
Well, Marita managed to get a lot of footage like this.
I know. It felt like it was a music video.
Yeah.
I should have stuck it in his face. Oops.
Poor guy. He so wanted to sing.
He did. You
And
know,
these are also they're all lip syncing. Obviously, I mean these are not the singers that actually did it. So
Right.
the backup singers are doing a great job as well.
well, I sang my part.
Of course you did. I was there when we recorded. Yes, it was just.
She was a sweetheart.
It's a wonderful shot. Marina tying in our characters
I
in the
thought
background.
that was a really cool shot.
Yeah.
I remember
Your reaction. Ooh, Paris.
when they were setting up the camera there, I was wondering what shot she was going for, and I thought it was really fantastic.
No, she knows what she's doing. That lady.
Yeah, working all the time. She's just terrific.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of great stuff.
A former script supervisor herself,
Mhm.
who studied the directors she worked with. And,
Yep.
that's a great shot underneath you.
I loved it. My favorite moment. I remember when we were recording, I said, I have to hit the highest note here. I will not let these girls sing over me.
And now we're actually back in Los Angeles on our set,
Yes.
in our stage.
Backstage is actually.
at Paramount.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It just became a running thing with me. I think we just had this notion, well, Angel's probably been to Vegas before, and he probably has a history there. So I started this run of him having met all
he's
the,
met up.
Bugsy Siegel and
Yeah.
and the Rat Pack he had drinks with. And
I thought that was great. And it was just so, matter of fact.
yeah.
Yeah, sure, I had drinks with them.
For some blackjack.
And there's the kiss off that says, something's wrong. He's not saying hi to his friends.
Now I do that to Amy all the time, by the way.
Hey, love you.
Hey, love you. She gets ripped. Note the shoes.
There's taps on there, aren't there? Clap, clap, clap.
I loved my dressing room. Or my room. I had so much fun with this, David. This is bringing back such wonderful memories.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time. It was a real field trip for everyone.
Yeah, it was.
We never went anywhere with the show. We never went to a location this
Like flying there on the
exotic.
plane
We
was
flew.
so fun.
The whole experience. We shot from like 6 at night to 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
For 5 nights.
And it was really extra exciting because of the live energy in Vegas. And
Oh,
people
yeah,
watching us on the street. And
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
it
casinos.
was like a movie show. We were a real star. I mean, people
Yeah.
recognizing,
Yeah.
you guys, and
And
I was getting
walking up to talk about the show. That was fun.
I was getting recognized.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Hey, Mr. Fury signed something. It was really exciting for us.
I thought it was great. And I also thought it was neat that some of the viewers knew we were going there. You know,
Yeah.
the real dedicated viewers, they knew, and they planned trips to be there at the same time.
That's right. This is Clayton Rohner.
He was a trip.
Great character actor. He was not what I originally envisioned for the character. I imagined somebody larger, more formidable, and yet he came in, and I know his work very well, and I've always liked him, and he just put a spin on the character. I went, it's got to be him.
Yeah, that's cool. He was perfect. Isn't that interesting how you have, of course, my mother was so mad at that part. My mom gets so mad when my head got chopped off and all those things. She gets so upset. She takes them a little too personally. And when I got hit, she called me, well, I loved the episode. Tell everyone I loved it, but I did not appreciate you getting punched in the stomach.
Now, here's you.
Revealing
Yeah, your powers being exploited.
yeah.
This whole idea of the
That was a great concept.
well, the concept actually, the credit should go to David Simpkins. Who,
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, who he had the we had the framework for the story, but we didn't have exactly what it was they were using you for, and he came up with this idea of futures trading
Yeah, that's cool.
and about stealing futures, and I love that idea so much. I thought we were wasting it here. I said we're robbing Angel of his destiny, a character who has this preordained destiny to fight in the apocalypse.
Right.
And I I thought we could do a whole thing about that, more of a Wall Street sort of thing, dealing with futures, literally futures trading, and thought we were wasting it here. But ultimately we just decided it's, hey, we can look ahead, or we can take this great idea and use it in Vegas. And,
I think you used it at a perfect spot. I loved that when the door shut.
I think originally it was lasers that crossed, but again, TV. It's bars. Now here's a wonderful scene, a brilliantly written scene, I have to say, that Josh wrote.
Oh.
We, as what seems to happen with me is some of my episodes on Angel in particular seem to come up a little short.
Oh, they do not.
I write the same length page as anyone else, but somehow they come up short. So we were a couple minutes shy on this, and so Joss very quickly he was shooting part of an episode where in Wesley's apartment anyway. So he decided to shoot this scene. He wrote it and shot it the next day.
Really?
And yeah, surprised me with it. Like I showed up and I found this scene for my episode that was already, and I said, "Wow, I have some thoughts on it." And it's like, "Well, it's being shot right now."
Oh, terrific.
So I went, "Oh,
so what are your thoughts?"
Okay, my thoughts are brilliant. I wouldn't change a word.
Great. Roll sound.
Yes. And this does tie into the later episode, Joss's episode, "Spin the Bottle."
Mm-hmm.
Wesley and his weapons that he's getting from this guy. Phone sex with Lila. I was waiting to get all the mail about that,
See, I wasn't going to say anything.
No one, I know, no one, I was thinking, is anyone going to comment on that about me, or do I have some twisted? I said, no, Joss is twisted.
It was all him.
And here we are at the Tropicana.
Yeah, that was fun. This was late at night.
Very late. This was 4 a.m., I think.
Yeah.
Shoot, we're ending at 6.
Somewhere in here, I remember I was out of makeup. And I came back to the set, remember?
Yeah,
and,
you were sitting, yes, that's right we were.
I walked through one of these background shots and, as playing the slots.
And you got yanked out of it.
I got yanked!
Said, you can't be in there. It's like, oh, it'd be funny, and no one will recognize him.
Yes, but then I got the big scram.
Yeah.
So I went off and lost all my money.
I see that little stand-up. I had that in my office for...
oh, you did?
For a year, yeah. I got that, and I wound up donating it to...
oh, no kidding.
Yeah, for charity.
Oh, you hot
After
ticket.
a year. I wanted you to sign it, and I was going to, but...
oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Kelly Manor still has the picture that you used out on the billboard.
Yes.
Of me in the fur coat. Yeah.
Yes.
And I also have the doll in my hand, the Kelly Manor's
That's
doll.
true.
Yeah.
It gets around. Angel light on the charm.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
And now it's down to business.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go to we had to go to a very far place to get from the casino. There was nothing nearby that would make this work, so we had to move to a whole new section of the casino. And a move on a shoot, for those of you who don't know, is enormous.
It is enormous.
So what you'd hope to be a quick shot suddenly becomes, an hour of setup.
Yeah, just moving all that equipment, cameras and all the electronic equipment. Why? So, but it was still in the Tropicana day?
I believe that was still in the Tropicana.
Yeah.
We did shoot something in the. I think we shot something else in the Riviera outside of the showroom. Some piece like this, but I don't think this one's it. My memory is not what it used to be. Now here's Fred with all the chips and guns down to his last 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is unusual because Jake knows how to play.
Yeah. This was kind of galling for him, I think.
Yes. Oh, he's wonderful.
Yeah. But Fred's the brain.
She sure is.
She's got the head for numbers and counting.
Yeah. Now, of course, you'll see Angel
right.
get whisked off.
Yeah, this never quite worked as well as I would have hoped. I mean, I think it was a funny idea of him being dragged off, and I think there's a camera move in here that I think the camera moves with him here.
See ya.
And then comes back, and somehow it just doesn't, I don't know.
You didn't like that?
It didn't seem as funny as I had it in my head. But you know what? It's 5 a.m. You just get the shot. It's like I could go, it would be funnier if, screw it. It's 5 o'clock.
It'd be funnier if I'm going to bed.
Yeah. You know what? That would be really good. Me sleeping. Bye. And this is outside. This is outside the Tropicana, I believe. No, wait. No, it's another. No, it's a Riviera.
Isn't this where?
This is the This is outside where the showroom. This is this is the where you were doing your act, and it was outside.
Where did we do the scene where? I don't want to
That's okay.
give it away. It's coming up. Can I talk about that?
The scene when he's walking back and the girl. No.
No, when Jay and I have words. When Gunn and I.
Oh,
words
that's outside the That's outside the Tropicana. But
so it wasn't that.
So that's the
scene, was it?
Tropicana now. We were at the Riviera for that thing, and now we're at the Tropicana. This is all fascinating to everyone at home, I'm sure. Which casino we're standing outside of? I think that was a David Greenwald note when he saw the cut. He goes, you know, I think I yelled something.
Yeah, that was great.
And I'm like, have him yell idiot.
I'm telling you, this is one of those scripts where when I read it, I was just, you know, really, just the entire time reading it was just suspenseful. Like I kept thinking I knew where it was going.
Oh.
Exactly. So, which I love, because I hate when I can predict every move, you know, in anything. So it was really fun to keep reading and see how the whole trading procedure went.
You created the Lornette.
You did. You sure did. Loved her eyelashes.
Yeah. And this hallway, of course, is back in L.A.
Look at her.
She's beautiful.
She's awesome.
She's such a sport to go to do that, to wrestling, you know.
Oh, she's just the best. Watch out. You know I'd never really break a vodka bottle.
Of course not. And you put it gently back into the bar.
I think that's one of my robes from home.
Oh my God, is that really your robe?
No, but I've been accused of it viciously. Look at those wall hangings. I love.
Yeah. As she looks about the room, going, "Oh, you look like you're, you know, this is awful for you."
Oh yeah,
and,
you're really roughing.
We originally, again, imagine this incredibly palatial suite, you know, with
Jacuzzi,
waterfalls,
yeah.
And you know, of course, you know, thank you, we can't afford that. But, you know. There's a movie in my head that's playing while I watch this. That's a lot bigger budget.
Oh.
Now, Fluffy was from that was from the first episode of the season, yes? When they called you,
yes, my little code.
and you said, "And say hi to Fluffy."
Make sure Fluffy's getting enough love.
Make sure Fluffy's getting enough love.
Yes.
We went to a lot of very obscene euphemisms.
I can imagine so. Where was this shot?
This was shot on a stage in Paramount.
Oh,
In Paramount, yeah. Yeah, a wonderful table that was built and constructed. It's actually a roulette wheel that's been set on its side.
Oh, really?
Not a roulette wheel, like a wheel of fortune,
Yeah.
sort of.
Oh, right.
That they had to lay on its side and rig to spin like that.
How'd you do that?
The magic of monofilament, which is a string. It's another great shot. Now that
Thank you for playing.
dropping on Angel, he's lost his destiny, and this camera just booming down on him. It's great, and he just gets it across that something's horribly wrong with him.
Yeah.
Something disorienting.
Oh, I love that shot.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of that stock
Yeah.
footage, I believe.
It's cool though with that light coming out of the top of
the Luxor.
Luxor. I love this.
It's nothing like bad acting, purposely bad acting.
She was, we talked a great deal before she did this. She did this a bunch of times, and she kept coming back and saying, "Andy, I have to overact and act bad. Can you give me any tips?"
Aha! Who'd know better? And here's your ingenious disguise that no one will see that you're a demon. You're wearing a hat and coat.
Never notice.
And now, when we come back to Fred, she's got some tissue paper in her hand, and she's been wiping off her makeup, and amazingly, she's gotten most of it off. All over her body with some tissue paper.
Yeah. It's not quite that easy for mine to come off.
Here's where we're getting a little...
Now, this was back on stage.
Oh, there's
right?
actually, wait a minute, there's something in here. It says there's a... one of the things running by is here, deal with Disney to run new ABC series. That was specifically a comment, a little shout out to David Greenwald.
Oh my God, I never knew
who
that.
Who had left Angel to go run a series for Disney on ABC.
That is so
And
funny.
that was just one of the, yeah.
That's a great shot.
So I threw it in there. That's
Ceiling.
a wonderful shot. Well, you can't not shoot that ceiling.
Yeah. I can't believe that thing was in the back. That is so funny.
See, Fred's now completely, just all the makeup's up. She's just got a few smudges here and there. Now, for those of you who know Las Vegas, the Nugget is nowhere near there. The Nugget is downtown, the Golden Nugget, and in fact, even though Tropicana's there there she is wiping off that makeup that so clearly there. Here you find yourself, you're on Fremont. You exit onto Fremont Street, which is nowhere near the Tropicana. And anybody who knows Vegas commented on that to me, like, what kind of place is this where we wind up 3 miles away?
Well, why not?
It's like, well, you know what? We love the location, and Marita shoots it brilliantly, and you see those people crowded around. They're actually watching us shooting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of that crowd, some of them are extras, but if you look further in the back, you can see the people watching us.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
Yeah.
A lot of people watching.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hot.
Yeah. Well, you must have been really hot under all those clothes.
I was a little warm.
Here's our expositions. You had a hard time. I remember you had a hard time trying to get all this out.
Time.
There's nothing worse than a huge block of exposition. You're like, can I just loop this later? Do I have to do this now? And I didn't blame you. It was a lot of stuff to have to say.
It was a ton. This was cool. I liked how you did this.
It was a fun episode to edit.
Anything in there?
Well, it's going to say deal with Disney over there. Yeah, but it's still up there. No one's bought that particular Destiny yet. David Greenwald hasn't gotten on the phone yet to purchase it.
Oh.
It's a great shot too.
Yep.
We had to loop a lot of these lines because there was so much music coming out of these casinos.
Yeah.
On the street, there was so much noise. There were street musicians.
And just people talking, you know.
Yeah, so it was really hard to hear your dialogue. So we had to loop a lot of this. We did pretty well. That worked out great.
I love that shot.
Yeah. We rigged some spark flashes off that and it just sold at the and then we inserted some bulbs breaking and it just.
How many people were injured and burned?
17, but they were all given free drinks. And then this is great. I think Marita found this location which is just off the corner there, just in front of this big.
That's right. This is what I was referring to when I said.
Well, no, that's
now I know
we're down in Fremont.
Yeah.
Here's our conflict scene. And I really needed to bring in, because part of the thing is when you have a lot of characters, they've got to come at odds with each other. Come to. There's got to be some conflict between them. If they all have the same attitude about the same villain, then they don't get to do anything or say anything interesting.
Right.
But having Gunn be angry with Lauren for taking part of this, even allowing herself to be used like this.
Yeah.
But you make a very compelling argument. I said no, and they killed someone, and I couldn't let that happen again.
Yeah. And I certainly don't think Gunn was expecting that.
No.
I think he just thought I was.
No, we had to buy it back when Lauren, because when we were writing the story, it was, Lauren is still, he's still a hero, in his own way. He wouldn't allow this to go on unless there was a good reason.
Right.
What about his destiny? Angels, we can't leave.
Or maybe he was lying and just really loved the show.
That's right.
He's got his own Vegas show.
That's New York casino.
Yeah.
That's another great shot. There's so much to shoot in Vegas. It gives you so much production value. It's amazing.
There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
And Vegas is very open to anybody shooting there. They're not, it's very difficult to shoot in Los Angeles sometimes because people want to be paid for if anything of theirs shows up in a shot, they want to be paid for it.
Yeah.
And in Vegas, it's like, this is our city. We want people to come to it.
Absolutely.
This will help promote it.
Sure.
Like, I was surprised that Tropicana would let us in there saying, because essentially the message of this episode is, Vegas will rob you of your destiny. Will rob you of your future. You'll lose yourself in Vegas. It's not a good place. And they're like, hey, any publicity is good publicity. Just
That's right.
Come shoot at our casino.
That's like my old marketing professor in college used to say, bad breath is better than no breath. Oh, he used to always say that. Now, did they have to review the script?
They did. We had to send it. We sent it to a number of casinos before we had, but we were surprised to find most of them were very amenable.
Yeah.
You see that little ball glowing in the corner in the prior shots. We had to add that there, a little CGI to bring our eyes to it a little bit because we've never really established it as being the focal point of its power.
Thank God. Do you think the sequins take away from my... Where was that? Right on stage?
Yeah. We shot all of Charisma's things for I think a number of episodes, back to back against green screen. It's very tough.
You know they can't put me in front of a green screen.
Yes, Lauren will disappear on green screen.
That's funny. They have to do a blue screen. I swear they brought in the blue. I thought that was so funny. Where the hell is he? Dane Johnson, my makeup artist, head of the department, wants me to get a headshot done. When just showing, it'll be titled, Lorne nude sunbathing on the lawn, and then just show a picture of
An
the
empty
grass
towel. Right, yeah.
with 2 red dots. What?
He can't win. He has no future.
Is that Kelly?
Yes, that was Kelly. That was actually Kelly over standing next to Angel.
Oh my God!
So
I never noticed that.
All of you rewind now and look at Kelly.
Yes.
Standing, who enters the frame in front of Angel. Kelly, who taught me how to play craps.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes. We looped that. We added that line of Angel coming in and saying hi to his friends because we thought it was funny. Because he's still out of it.
I think you're like, oop.
See here, he doesn't realize that Angel really didn't win. Cordelia made him win. And
Of course, he
he's-
doesn't
Yeah, sorry.
quite get it. Yeah.
So Angel would probably just go back and put more quarters in, except suddenly he sees his friends in horrible danger, and
Or he was broke, right?
and he was broke. They would have given more quarters. But it's here where suddenly it kicks in because, he's a hero, and he's not letting it. Now he's
Now it's time.
not going to let it happen.
I loved getting to do a little action here.
Yeah, you don't get that chance, do you?
No, and I
Sadly.
loved it. There it goes.
Oh, and you get to smash the globe, right? The orb of power, whatever I call it.
Yes.
I mean, wasn't all bad.
Well, maybe. Bittersweet.
And then everyone's destinies, which were all different colors.
There was
apparently.
still the Disney deal up there.
Yeah. And we had to just randomly choose in this shot, like, who gets their destiny back? And this was actually the only standalone episode of this season. The only episode you can tune into it and watch, and not having seen anything prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rest of the season was so arcy. And
I think this was my last shot in Vegas. I could be wrong.
They had these little fried peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
I threw that line in just to cover a little bit more of a walk and to extend that shot.
Absolutely.
No more road trips for at least.
And then something we did quite a lot last season, the cliffhanger ending.
Love that.
Yeah.
DeMarco was right.
Every episode had a little something at the end that made you go, huh?
Yeah.
What? Can't wait for next week.
Oh, this line was so hard for me to get out.
I don't get why.
And we were laughing so hard.
Which was the line I forgot?
It's
Even without a flight plan, Bucko, you're
Oh, this
still a
one.
stealth bomber. You were
this.
fighting for your friends' futures.
No, wait a minute.
You take that away, not even you.
Right here, I think.
Oh, listen, I got a lot more. Excuse me.
I kept saying bonbons,
Bonbons.
which I think of those little.
Bon mot.
Yeah, I can help you with one or two of those.
Gun and Fred and happier
Where I
times.
draw the
Uh-oh. That was great. They are stunned.
They're always stunned when Joss's name shows up. Well, there you have it.
Let's watch it again.
Okay, everybody put it on rewind now. And we'll start it over. Thanks again for listening and watching.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, David. You know how much I love that episode.
Well, I love you too, Andy.
Thank you.
Mwah. We really just kissed just now.
Thank you.
Arg.